zu unserem letzten Slot auf der ILIAS-Konferenz heute. Videobasiertes Lernen mit Videos. Wir haben 3 ganz interessante Vorträge und wir fangen an mit einem Urgestein der ILIAS-Entwicklung. Roberto Del Mastro aus Italien, der schon viele Jahre mit dabei ist und der dem einen oder anderen noch aus früheren ILIAS-Konferenzen sehr interessanten, sehr lebhaften Beiträgen bekannt ist. Roberto ist Service Provider in Italien für ILIAS, macht viele spannende Projekte, vor allen Dingen in der Industrie. Und er wird uns über 10 Jahre videobasiertes Training mit ILIAS berichten. Und es gibt, glaube ich, ganz viele spannende Sachen zu sehen. Roberto.
I hope so. Thank you, Matthias. Okay, this presentation is just to tell you the story about using videos for e-learning, at least from our point of view, from our experience. A few words about us. OC is a company that has 2 locations in Italy. One is in Emilia-Romagna and one in Trentino, South Tyrol, where we have the laboratory for software development and we cooperate with the development of ILIAS. This is our group. I am the very old one here on the left side, and the other guys, they give support for all the ILIAS community in Italy, and this is myself. I come from the audio and video business, so actually I was one of the people that moved from media to e-learning because we believed that the use of multimedia, of course, is really important to have a efficient e-learning platform. The e-learning evolution didn't follow the evolution of media, because in e-learning we started offline and then we went online, of course, and since middle of the year 2000 there was the need of starting to have cooperation, to have community, and this of course was not possible in relation with the production of multimedia video elements, because producing video elements, it's easy right now, but 15 years ago it was not very simple and not accessible to the user. Let's say that now that we have the smartphone, the tablets, we can produce easily videos, otherwise before it was of course impossible. So the media development didn't follow the development of e-learning from a methodology point of view. Actually, this is a statistic that is a couple of years old. What is more appreciated in the range of e-learning units is, of course, blended learning. The virtual classroom is used a lot, and the multimedia is just on the 4th place. So it's very important when we produce video for e-learning that they go inside a project where we take care of what the experience must be for the user. Let's make a bit of history. Where it started everything? It started, of course, with VHS. Unfortunately, I was already there. This that we show now is, for example, it's a French version, so it's good for our French friends. And at the beginning, when we made manuals with video, it was of course very long. It was like the university lesson on TV, very boring. You can bump your head on your desk, so boring it was. And it was a simulation of a manual. No interaction, no possibility to skip chapters or whatever. So of course, this was absolutely not easy to use. Then there was CD. Here I have a couple of examples of CD we made around 20 years ago. Of course, it was a start of interaction. We could at least divide the contents into chapters. But I remember the way to produce CD was very expensive. We used Macromedia Director or software where the cost of development was really, really high. It was horrible. Here I have 2 examples. One is a technical training for 3 phases UPS. Don't ask me to tell the German word, I think is Unversort. It's a very difficult word. And the other one is digital audio mixer. So the first one, this is the digital audio mixer. At least we have the menu, and you can click on the menu and access to instructions. I still found that CD, and to make it run was really a nightmare because I had to use Explorer and click out everything, so it cannot work anymore right now. And this is the other example that's also interesting because it was very fancy with an animation at the beginning, but at the end all the animation was totally unusable. It was just a bit of flair, you know, because the animation was not done. When you go inside, the learning was, okay, I choose the type of product where I want some information, and you just get text, word at a time. So it's really horrible now, in my opinion, but you get the product, you know, so you access, you get the product, then you go and click on one of the things that you want to get, and there was just a text. So you open Word, a fantastic software, and you get your schematics. And that was, you know, and then you get another 2 minutes of very boring and unuseful animation. So this was the status when we were at the beginning of year 2000. Okay, let's skip that. And, okay, here we have the first experiment we did with ILIAS. It was a sales training for a company making machinery. The need was, okay, these guys were selling machinery worldwide, and they need to create contact with all the worldwide network without inviting all the time people everywhere. And so, but at least it was 2005, it was with video. At that time I have really to make compliments because ILIAS was already able to play videos outside of the database. And for example, the Moodle friends were just able to play links to YouTube, and that's a big difference. These technical companies liked to have the database with the metadata because they could substitute the video when there was a new version, so it was really professional to use. This is curious. You see, this is the original dimension of the screen at that time. It was 12 years ago, so in the old screen this was a big video, but if you look at it in a screen right now, it's a stamp, and it's the story of the company, so that's basically like a profile. I go a little bit further, and then it was a reproduction of slides. So inside it was just text, and then copied pieces of PowerPoint. But there was a first important thing that was creating the team, pushing the team. As you see, it's 4/3, so it's old standard. But one of the first success of e-learning in corporate was to create the interviews. So you had the chance to interview general managers and to put in contact like the top managers with the people that works in Hong Kong or whatever, in South America. And that was really interesting because those people were not able to meet in any time. So at the beginning we have to appreciate these pioneers that... Anyway, the fact of the interview is not without meaning. It's still very important. As I told you before, we made an experience with luxury cars this year. And this is an example from Bentley. But anyway, it's even nowadays, you see nothing special. The video is not crazily well done. It's done in a trade show. But this guy is the CEO of Bentley and Bugatti. The goal is to show the news right now. I work for Bugatti in Australia and I see my CEO presenting the car one day after the presentation. These are really, really big values, and you can do it in a closed environment. So you can do it not incredibly professionally, you can do it quite easily, as you see here. They don't take care about the the background, very easy way to make the videos. So still, we really recommend not only, especially in corporates, when you do an e-learning platform, you have to use it to spread the word, not only to teach, but to create team building and so on. Another effect, the actual needs, let's say the same training, training for salespeople. In our experience that is quite long, we realized that the salespeople, they want to find an answer in a very short time. So they need to access a couple of clicks and get a small video unit. They don't want to read text, they don't want to download PDF files and so on. So this is, for example, the same company as before. And you see, I am a salesman, I click on sales support, and the training is with icons done, because it has to work on the mobile as well. So I click on the argument that I choose, I make buttons, and I get my strength and sales point.
On the strength of the SDS.
So here again, but anyway, that's really quick. So you click on plastic bottles and you get the plus of your plastic bottles in a couple of minutes, because if you have there a very important factory talking with you, you have to remind quickly what you have to say. You don't have time to go to a course. And then you go back to the main menu. This is very important because it's the actual structure that we provide when we do sales or technical trainings with videos. We started, I remember, with a maximum limit of 15 minutes. Now we run always videos that are 1 minute or 2 minutes, but a lot. So a wide database, but the experience must be really quick. Okay, user content. In this graphic here under, you see what is the procedure that we normally use when we want to have user cooperating into training. Normally we do a virtual kickoff, so for example we have expert of a specific technical argument. We meet virtually and we split, okay, who is better to talk about this or that, because especially in complex plants or machinery, there is the need to involve the technicians in speaking about what they do. And so it's very important to have cooperation groups. So we then decide who does that. Then at the end we make a webinar where everybody presents what he have collected, and this really creates the knowledge database. Because as we work mainly on machinery. Machinery is normally sold before it's really tested. So normally they do a prototype, a pre-series, sell it to the factory, assembly that, and it must run. So there is no time to test all the defects, you know. So the technician have to give a feedback. And this works also in other trainings. Okay, interactive videos. In our opinion, it's very useful for not administrative e-learning, because you get the interaction inside the video. I have a very historical example from us. It was done for Diesel, that is a jeans company in Italy, and it's in Italian anyway, and it's for the sales girls in the shops. They needed to increase their KPI. So you have a small scene with a customer getting into a shop, and he buys a couple of jeans. Anyway, the idea is simple, is to have a video, and then at the end you have a situation, the video stops, and you have to make a choice. That's the interactive video. At that time we did it with Flash. It worked quite okay, but then of course we couldn't use Flash anymore. And now there are other possibilities to produce videos in the interactive way. So as you see here, you have a choice, and you can go on, and depending on what you choose, you get another video. Nowadays we have other routines, like Zavango. I don't know if the Friends of Holland are still here, but Goran Kattenberg is quite expert of that. So if you want to ask information, it's very easy to embed interactive video made with Zavango into ILIAS. It comes then as an HTML code, and the only care we have to get is that the videos are somewhere in the server, so nothing really difficult to do.